couple weeks ago, I was at brunch, drinking mimosas, thinking about what am I going to do my AxoTalk on? Because that's what we all think about when we're drinking. And I thought, drinking and planning for a party is really about kind of like content strategy. So the name of my presentation is How to Strategize Sober When Everybody Just Wants to Get Content Drunk. So before we drink, wait a second, let's talk about what is content strategy for a second. It's not building a website. It's not starting a website from the beginning like we kind of just went through. So let me just say that right now, this is not about the experience the marketing team just went through with the new website. So it depends on who you ask, but these are the definitions that I like the most. Content marketing strategy must come first, and this requires goals, different forms of content for different customer touch points, mapping the needs of people, the channels they prefer, and the content or stories, etc. And this is by one of my favorite people, who's the founder of Content Marketing Institute, Joe Paluzzi. So a lot of these definitions can get very in the weeds. This is my most favorite one. We define content strategy as getting the right content to the right user at the right time. And I personally would add how, when, and where they want it. So speaking to people where they are at and how they want to be spoken to, whether that's through social channels or whatever. So now the fun part. So these are the steps you need to take if you're going to have a content strategy and or drink with friends at brunch or throw a party. Plan for your plan. You need to have squad goals. You need to know that it's okay to be an invite snob and worry about who you're going to invite. You're going to have to follow the tried and true rules of drinking and content strategy and tip your bartender at the end. And all this will be revealed in the next couple minutes. So plan for your plan. Know how you're going to take your strategy to the next level. Or remember what your father told you. Be safe, have fun, and have a quarter in your shoe for phone calls. This applies to drinking, wherever you're at, and content strategy when you're at a company. So I do want to add a disclaimer here. Content strategy can be for your own company or your own personal brand. So if you are running your own social media channels and you are like, how does my friend have 3,000 followers and I have 5? This is something you can delve into for content strategy and get a couple more followers if that's important to you, if you're not a content strategist at a company. So you have to remember that when you're going to do this and you're put in charge of this, you are the content strategist. So you're in charge. You're the person who is planning the party, and what's happened is your boss says to you, or you decide, you're going to complete or fix your organization's content strategy, and immediately everyone around you in a company or your friends gets intoxicated. They get drunk on the knowledge that, whoa, you're going to redo the content strategy. How can I be involved? How can I help? What can I write? Can I tweet for you? Can I Facebook for you? And you need to get a hold on that. So you need to avoid a hangover by having a plan and keep your goals in mind. As a person with the content strategist title, don't be afraid to be in charge and call a taxi if you need to and take the keys. That applies to both situations. So you need to have squad goals. So your squad now includes your CEO, your CFO, the CIO, everybody who's in your company, even the person who sits in the corner and you don't know what they do. They're now part of your squad. You need to be like Taylor Swift and be as close to everybody in Hollywood or your company as possible. So your job also as a content strategist is to get pumped and make sure everybody feels excited and that they have a voice with this. So like I say here, start doing stupid beep, whatever, like using hashtag. I was told to keep it PG. Hashtag squad goals on Twitter. So the point is you're going to need energy. You're going to need to make sure everybody feels included. Woot. So, but seriously, everybody needs to know your goals. And you need to go around to your company or your friends, if this is for yourself, and find out if they disagree with some of your goals and some of your ideas, because they may have been at the company longer than you, probably, and they may have information that you need and don't know. So if you don't get their voice and their input, they're probably going to go out and do their own thing and, hashtag, or drink alone, and that's dangerous. So, but keep in mind, though, that it doesn't mean that your entire squad will be active. dancing with you, drinking with you, or even at the bar. So you just need to bring everybody in and be inclusive and follow hashtag squad goals. If you have a failure to communicate, just like if you decide to go out and all your friends are like, we're just going to go out and dance. We're just going to dance on the floor and have a good time. You all need to be in agreement with that because, or like we've probably all had that experience where you go to a bar and your friend is off somewhere in the corner vomiting or off with somebody, a guy or a girl or whatever, and you're looking for them all night and your whole night is ruined because they disappear. So you have to all be on the same page is the point. Just like in your strategy, if your CEO changes his or her mind and decides that this is no longer important and lead generation is needed, maybe you should change what you're doing and start writing some really good CTAs, or they're going to ask you what you're doing. So you need to be a snob when it comes to inviting people. So pick your VIPs and don't be afraid to choose wisely. Who has the talents that you need, who doesn't, and who will be your hype man. So who's going to be your second in command, who is going to be there, who's going to work on what. And these are the people that you need to make sure that are RSVPing to your party. Writer, designer, web designer, SEO expert, social media maven. The point is you just need to pick wisely. So just like when you're having a party or you're going out, are there too many attractive friends, too many friends that drink too much, too many shy friends, too many aggressive friends? Just check your group. So this is probably my most favorite slide in here and the most important one is when you're doing something like this, it's really important to enact a racy matrix. So you need to get agreement and stick to it. So RACY stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. So this is who is in charge of what, and then when everybody agrees on it, there's no overlapping. So these are the tried and true rules. There are rules when you're drinking. We all know this. And there's rules when you're doing content strategy. So there are rules for a reason because they work, and you learned them in college. And if you follow them, you won't wake up with a hangover, hopefully. At least that's the goal. So here's the first one, liquor before beer in the clear, at least so we've been told. So what I'm trying to draw a parallel here is what's important would be quality, quality, quality in your liquor and your content. So your content needs to be important and beneficial to your reader at all times. And hydrate like crazy. So we all know that you have a drink, you have a glass of water. So I kind of was drawing a parallel with this with just follow the details, which is, proof all your copy, follow your brand guidelines. This is not the time to kind of skip around and kind of skip steps. Design simply and effectively and pay attention to the details. So they're necessary because if you don't have them, you'll be sicker the next day, and there's no Tylenol for a hungover strategy. Make sure you're seen. So optimize like you're Beyonce. We all know, go ahead, stand out. Wear the tight dress with the 4-inch heels. Follow your keyword strategy. And if you've been doing any kind of web work, you know what works, and utilize your Google Analytics. So at this point, it's probably not the time to start testing right in the beginning. So, don't be that crazy person and try the new cider that's going to make you burp all night or it's going to make you sick. Stick to what works. Don't keyword stuff. And remember context and your audience because Google likes that. So at the end, tip your bartender, tip your content strategist. You need to have an announcement to your squad and make sure they know that they are helpful and everybody has worked really hard, and celebrate, but only if you've been staying sober. Thank you, and cheers.